Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Kate, speaking to you from Richmond in London. It's a slightly cloudy morning here, but honestly, that's quite normal for this time of year. I've got my tea beside me, and today I want to talk about something fascinating, something that affects millions of people around the world, the future of the English language. English is everywhere. It's the language of international business, global travel, entertainment, science, and of course, the internet. But have you ever stopped and wondered what English will look like 10 years from now? Will it stay the same? Will it become easier or harder? Will technology completely change the way we learn and use it? Today, we're going to explore the trends and predictions that experts, linguists, and global communication specialists believe will shape English over the next decade. Let's begin with one of the biggest and most surprising truths about English today. Most English conversations in the world do not happen between native speakers. In fact, the majority of English communication happens between people whose first language is not English. For example, a business meeting might involve someone from Germany, someone from Brazil, and someone from Japan, all speaking English together. This is incredibly important because it means English is no longer controlled or shaped only by countries like the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, or Australia. Instead, English is becoming a truly global language that belongs to everyone who speaks it. Over the next 10 years, we expect English to become even more international, flexible, and influenced by different cultures and accents. Another major trend is the simplification of English grammar in everyday communication. Now, this doesn't mean grammar rules will disappear, but people are becoming less strict about using perfect grammar in casual conversation. Even native speakers regularly use shorter, simpler sentences. They often drop small words, combine sounds, or use informal structures because they focus more on being understood than being grammatically perfect. As English becomes more global, communication clarity will likely become more important than traditional grammar accuracy. Learners may feel less pressure to sound exactly like native speakers and more encouragement to speak clearly and confidently. This shift is already visible in international workplaces, where clear communication is valued far more than perfect pronunciation or textbook grammar. Another exciting change is the growing influence of other languages on English vocabulary. English has always borrowed words from other languages, but globalization and the internet have dramatically increased this process. Words from Korean pop culture, Japanese entertainment, Indian technology sectors, and African business communities are entering English faster than ever before. Social media platforms, online gaming, global music, and international films are introducing new expressions, slang, and cultural phrases into English. Over the next decade, English vocabulary will likely grow faster than ever before, and many new words will come from cultures that historically had less global linguistic influence. Now, we cannot talk about the future of English without discussing artificial intelligence. AI is already transforming how people learn languages. Modern language learning platforms use AI to personalize lessons, correct pronunciation, suggest better sentence structures, and simulate realistic conversations. In the near future, learners may have access to virtual tutors that can listen to their speech, correct mistakes in real time, and provide customized feedback based on their personal learning style. This could dramatically reduce the time needed to become fluent in English. However, there is an interesting twist. As AI becomes better at correcting grammar and writing, human learners may focus more on creativity, storytelling, and emotional expression. Technology can help produce correct sentences, but it cannot easily replace human personality, humor, or cultural understanding. So, future English learners may need to focus more on communication skills rather than memorizing grammar rules. Another noticeable shift is happening in written English. Formal writing styles are becoming less common in everyday communication. Emails, workplace messages, and online conversations are becoming shorter, simpler, and more conversational. Many professionals now write messages that look very similar to text messages or social media posts. This trend is expected to continue. Clear, simple language will likely replace complex academic-style writing in most professional environments. The ability to explain ideas clearly and quickly will become more valuable than using sophisticated vocabulary or complicated sentence structures. Spoken English is also changing. Native speakers are speaking faster and using more connected speech. They often reduce sounds, blend words together, and use informal pronunciation patterns. For learners, this means listening skills will become even more important in the future. Understanding natural, fast, everyday English may become one of the biggest challenges for language learners. Another encouraging prediction involves accents. In the past, many learners believed they needed to sound British or American to be considered fluent. Fortunately, this mindset is changing. Today, global communication values clarity and confidence far more than having a specific accent. People are becoming more accepting of different pronunciation styles, and accents are increasingly seen as part of personal identity rather than a mistake. English will most likely remain the dominant global language for business, science, and international communication. However, it will not replace local languages. Instead, more people will become bilingual or multilingual. English will act as a bridge language that allows people from different cultures to communicate, while still maintaining their native languages and cultural identities. Technology and digital life will also influence the vocabulary English learners need. Words related to artificial intelligence, digital platforms, online communication, and modern technology are becoming essential. Learners who focus only on traditional vocabulary may struggle to understand modern conversations. Future English education will likely focus heavily on digital communication skills and modern expressions. One of the most exciting predictions is that English learning will become highly personalized. Instead of following one standard learning path, learners will choose English skills based on their personal goals. Some people will focus on business communication, others on travel conversations, and others on academic or social communication. AI and educational technology will design lessons specifically for individual learners, making language education more efficient and enjoyable. So, what does all this mean for English learners today? It means the future of English is not about perfection, it is about connection. It is about being able to express ideas, share stories, and communicate across cultures. The English language is evolving to become more human, more flexible, and more inclusive. If you are learning English right now, you are part of this evolution. You are not just learning the language, you are helping shape its future. The way you speak, the words you use, and the culture you bring into your English communication all contribute to how the language grows and changes. The next decade will likely bring faster communication, smarter learning tools, more cultural influence, and greater acceptance of different speaking styles. English will continue to adapt to the needs of a connected world. Kate takes a sip of her tea and smiles gently. Learning English has never been more exciting than it is today. The language is alive, constantly growing, and shaped by people from every corner of the world. And perhaps the most beautiful thing about English is that it no longer owned by any single country. It belongs to everyone who uses it to communicate, learn, and share ideas. Thank you for spending this time with me here in Richmond. I hope this exploration of the future of English has inspired you and given you confidence in your own learning journey. Remember, fluency is not about sounding perfect. It is about being understood and expressing yourself with confidence. If you enjoyed this discussion, stay curious, stay motivated, and keep practicing your English every single day. The future of English is bright, and if you want, you will be part of it.